Today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, 80 years after the liberation of Auschwitz by the Red Army. Around 1 million Jews were murdered in the extermination camp during World War II. Today, dignitaries from all over the world will gather at the site to pay their respects. Let's turn now to Jay Gray, who is live in Auschwitz. Jay, good morning. A lot of reflection there on this solemn morning.
Yeah, Francis, good morning. And as you talk about, it's going to be very somber, very solemn. Dignitaries, including King Charles here, the French President Macron, a U.S. delegation led by Stephen Mnuchin, the Treasury of the Secretary, all here. But none of those politicians during these commemorations will step to the podium. That is an honor that is reserved today only for the survivors here.
There were over 1 million Jewish people killed in Auschwitz alone. So this is kind of a sacred ground, the biggest burial of Jews in the world.
Michael Bornstein somehow escaped the gas chambers, the firing squads inside this death camp. You can see him here, a 4-year-old prisoner of Auschwitz. Now, 80 years later, Bornstein returns, not by force, but by choice.
And it's also important for me to show the world, the bigotry and the hatred that went on in Auschwitz.
Around 50 survivors have gathered here 8 decades after their liberation.
Telling their story, and it's a way that people never forget what happened. And in a few years, there'll be no survivors.
And as their voices begin to fade, the work inside this restricted area of the camp, where cameras are rarely allowed, becomes even more crucial. Conservationists and scientists inside this high-tech lab preserving the history here. Thousands of items cataloged, stored in climate-controlled rooms. Still, with all of this work,
tradition is extremely, extremely important to me.
And with the words of survivors, the story of Auschwitz will never really be complete.
Because there is this darkness that will never be told, because most of the people who were deported to Auschwitz did not survive this place. They were murdered. Most of them never became prisoners of the concentration camp. They were murdered immediately after arrival in gas chambers.
This place, a memorial and museum dedicated to their memory.
Yeah, and it's another reason survivors return. Mr. Bornstein saying that he is here to offer Jewish prayers for the lost, including his brother and father who died here. Francis?
And so many lessons still need to be learned from there. Okay, thank you, Jay.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.